Your air conditioning will cost up to $72,000 over 30 years, feeding a $29 billion industry. A 500-year-old Okinawan roof design cuts that to zero. $47 million in lobbying may explain why you were never told. Every summer, millions of households watch their utility bills spike, often by $150 to $400 a month, just to keep the air inside bearable. Over the typical 30-year span of homeownership, those cooling costs add up fast. Even with conservative estimates, factoring in the price of electricity, regular maintenance, and at least one full system replacement, the total can reach $27,000 to $72,000 for a single family. That is money spent not on comfort, but on a cycle of dependence, each bill paid directly into a market now valued at $29 billion a year in the United States alone. The scale of this business is no accident. Manufacturers and trade groups like the Air Conditioning, Heating, and Refrigeration Institute operate with budgets that include $47.3 million in annual lobbying expenditures. That is money spent shaping building codes, influencing inspectors, and ensuring that mechanical cooling remains a default requirement in new construction. The result is a system where every homeowner becomes a long-term revenue stream, locked into monthly payments that never truly end. Meanwhile, the passive cooling approach, once common in places like Okinawa, demands no monthly outlay, no replacement parts, and no grid connection. It is a one-time investment in design, not a recurring charge. The financial contrast is stark. Zero operating cost versus a lifetime of bills. For the average homeowner, the difference is not just comfort, it is tens of thousands of dollars, redirected from family budgets to corporate bottom lines. The Okinawan house is a machine for keeping heat at bay, engineered long before the first air conditioner was ever sold. Start with the roof. Red clay tiles, each fired from local kucha clay, rest above a timber deck with a ventilated gap of 30 to 45 millimeters. This cavity acts as a thermal buffer, drawing hot air up and out through a ridge vent, a 10-centimeter opening at the peak, shielded by a removable cap. As sunlight beats down, the air beneath the tiles heats up, rises, and escapes, while cooler air is pulled in from below. Wide eaves, projecting 1 to 1.5 meters from the wall, throw deep shade over both roof and walls, blocking most direct solar radiation during the hottest hours. This geometric shield keeps the building envelope cool even when outside temperatures top 35 degrees Celsius. The walls themselves are massive, built from 200 to 300 millimeters of coral limestone and packed rubble. Their high thermal inertia absorbs heat slowly, then releases it after sunset, flattening the daily temperature swing inside. Beneath the floor, a crawl space 30 to 50 centimeters tall stays open to the breeze. Night air, often several degrees cooler, circulates beneath the house, further reducing heat gain. Large openings on opposite sides of the house align with the prevailing sea breeze, typically 3 to 5 meters per second in summer, creating a cross-flow path that flushes out warm, stagnant air. Each element, the eave, the tile gap, the vent, the stone, the crawl space, and the airflow, works as a layer in a coordinated defense, producing a stable, comfortable interior without a single watt of electricity. Carriers rise as the face of modern cooling was no accident. In the 1950s, the company's campaigns painted mechanical air conditioning as a symbol of progress, while anything resembling natural ventilation or roof overhangs was quietly sidelined. Trade journal archives show HVAC manufacturers and their technical representatives filling seats on code writing panels like the International Residential Code by 1960. These committees drafted standards that favored mechanical systems, making passive designs an afterthought in the rulebook. Meanwhile, architecture schools followed the money. By 1980, less than 3% of accredited U.S. programs offered any coursework in passive cooling, according to NAAB curriculum surveys. The effect was cumulative. generations of architects graduated without ever learning the principles that kept Okinawan homes cool for centuries. The industry's profit model thrived on this ignorance, as each new code and curriculum revision reinforced a cycle of dependency on manufactured comfort. Measured data from field studies puts the Okinawan system's cooling effect in sharp relief. In a controlled Phase 2 study, homes built with traditional passive features recorded indoor temperatures, 8 to 15 degrees Fahrenheit, lower than the peak outside heat, far less dramatic than some of the more sensational claims, but still a meaningful difference in a subtropical climate. Researchers at Kyoto University found similar numbers, with interior spaces consistently trailing outdoor highs by a margin that made midday hours tolerable without mechanical help. Modern retrofits in the U.S. echo these results. In Phoenix, a homeowner who added deep eaves and a ventilated roof slashed summer AC bills from $380 to $45 a month after a $2,800 upgrade. An Austin couple reported a drop from $340 to $85 a month following a $4,200 retrofit. Despite the lack of third-party audits, these cases suggest that passive design can deliver real savings, though not the miraculous extreme sometimes advertised. Okinawa's approach is hardly an isolated case. Across the world, entire civilizations mastered passive cooling long before electricity. In ancient Persia, wind catchers, towering stone shafts, pulled breezes deep into homes, driving hot air out. Roman houses surrounded their atria with open courtyards and shallow pools, cooling air through evaporation and shade. In Kyoto, Japanese machiya townhouses used deep eaves and narrow courtyards to channel airflow, while thick timber frames buffered summer heat. In the American Southwest, pueblos relied on adobe walls over half a meter thick, storing coolness through the day and releasing it at night. Each of these traditions, separated by thousands of miles and centuries, arrived at the same core principle: harness the elements, not the grid, to keep living spaces comfortable. Today, passive cooling still cuts energy bills to zero, while the HVAC industry collects billions. The real question: are we building for comfort or for profit? Let us know what you think below.